Welcome to the Gen Z Marketer podcast, where we have marketing conversations and everything in between. In this Market Talks episode, I invited a guest who will share her journey with us as a TikTok content creator. So we'll also talk about the platform and why TikTok is as popular as it is now. So I'd like to welcome to the podcast Rica Salomon. Hi Rica, how are you doing?
Hi, hello, I'm good.
Okay, so
Thank you
this
for
is
having
actually
me.
yeah, of course. So this is actually a really exciting episode, I think, because TikTok has been really on the rise for the past years. I mean, before we had, Snapchat, we even had Vine or Instagram, but now really TikTok, I think, has made something new and something really interesting, right?
That's true.
So before we really get into it, like discussing about your experience as a content creator and really about talking about TikTok, why don't you tell our listeners a bit more about yourself?
So, hello everyone. My name is Rica Salomon. I am a TikTok content creator. I am also a makeup artist, and I used to actually be a YouTube content creator as well. My content on TikTok focuses on trans awareness, but at the same time, I also do other content such as comedy or just things about my life.
Right, okay. So that's actually really interesting. I like how basically you said you talk about your advocacy as well on TikTok because I think that's something that not all content creators do. Usually content creators are more on the lifestyle kind of thing, right? So I think it's interesting that you mentioned that you have your advocacy there as well. You use it for your advocacy as well.
Mm-mm.
So you mentioned that you also used to create YouTube content. Other than YouTube and other than TikTok, are you also present in other platforms like Instagram,
Um,
Facebook?
yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, but I think pinaka-active ako talaga is in TikTok.
Right. Okay. So how long have you been in TikTok, and what has it been like for you so far?
I think I've been on TikTok for almost a year now. It's been okay so far. I've had a couple of videos that went viral, but um, that's just it. It's really random. Sometimes your videos get viral, sometimes your videos don't get views at all. So it's been a roller coaster.
Right. Right. So I think I would ask also because before TikTok I think you also have your YouTube, right? Your Instagram. Would you say like some of your audience move to TikTok as well, or do you have like a different audience for each of these platforms?
I think I have a different audience for my TikTok because I actually quit YouTube like maybe around 2 years ago. So I don't think that my YouTube followers know that I'm on TikTok, but a couple have mentioned that they saw me from YouTube before. So there.
Right, right. So, of course, you mentioned that some of your content gets really a lot of engagement, some of them don't. So, for you, of course, you also mentioned that you post different things, right?
Mm-mm.
So, I'm curious to know which of your content do you get the most engagement from?
I Honestly, it's really random because sometimes I get a lot of engagement when I do just funny comedic stuff. But sometimes even my content where I reply to people or when I reply to bashers, I get a lot of engagement as well. I think what gave me the following on TikTok is how I'm unapologetically myself. And whenever I would get hate comments, I my way of responding to them would be in a creative and funny way pa rin.
Right. So I think because you mentioned it's really a variety. I think that's one of the appeals of TikTok. I think that's one interesting thing about TikTok, I would say, because honestly, I don't have my own TikTok. I don't really use TikTok yet because I feel like I don't want to quote quote unquote maintain another platform. Like I feel like I'm okay with Instagram and something like that. So
Mm-mm.
but I'm as a marketer, as someone who's really been in social media marketing for quite a while. I mean, TikTok is something that I've been monitoring and just really impressed about how the platform has grown. But at the same time, parang I feel like oh, should I jump in? Should I not jump in? Am I gonna miss out on anything if I don't go into TikTok? But I'm starting to feel like maybe I am missing out on something, right?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So I'm curious kasi 'di ba with TikTok videos, I mean I've seen some TikTok videos on Facebook like you have those parang skit types. Basically, those comedic
Yeah.
videos or those with dancing videos. I'm curious to know like is it a tedious process when you create those videos? Like what is the content creation process like for TikTok?
I think compared to other platforms, the reason why a lot of people like TikTok is because it's so easy to make content. Like within 15 seconds, you can instantly create content and it'll instantly go viral. So with TikTok, it's really easy because some people make it like super career where they have a storyboard, stuff like that. Pero ako personally, the way that I do my TikTok videos, I just whatever pops into my mind, I just record and then just post right after.
Right. So I think that's the appeal then with TikTok. Like I think it's more candid, right?
Yeah.
More if you compare it to Instagram, that Instagram in a way now is almost a bit too rehearsed, too polished, right? If you
Yeah,
compare
and
it to
it's
TikTok.
too curated, I think. Instagram is too curated while TikTok you can just post whatever.
Right, right. So of course, you started also with different platforms,
Mm-mm.
and of course with TikTok, when you create your account, of course you don't have like 100,000 followers agad, right? So
Yeah.
when did you realize, like as you were creating content, what was the turning point in which you realized your profile has grown beyond what you expected?
I think it was just when I first got my first viral video. I think it was tuloy-tuloy na kasi. Parang after I got a video that went viral, TikTok pushed my other videos as well, and then it just helped me grow and grow as I kept on posting more videos. So for me, the turning point would be just that first break that I was given, and then it just continued after that.
Oh, okay. So basically, if like based on what I understand on what you said, no, basically that the TikTok algorithm, once you go viral, they would definitely push your content out more to people who are most likely to engage with your videos, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you ever expect, like, when you started TikTok, what was it something like you wanted really to be a content creator, or did you just want to do it for fun? Like, what was it for you initially?
Um, Honestly, it was just nothing. It was just for fun. I just posted um of a video of myself where I talked about my life, and then it suddenly became viral for the most random reason ever. So I never expected that people would be able to relate with my videos, and I've come to realize that the things that go viral are either people that could relate to, or I mean rather my videos that go viral are either videos that people can relate to, or people learn learn something new or pick something new from the video.
Right. So I'm actually curious to ask then, of course, because trends. I think there's a lot of trending things that are happening
Yeah.
in TikTok, right? A lot of like maybe pop culture events or even purchases or things like that usually come from TikTok right now, right?
Mm-mm.
So would you say like it's a very unpredictable thing when it comes to the trends? Like maybe this week there's that new dance trending, then a week later it's gonna be something else. Like what is the trend like when it comes to TikTok?
Trends go really fast with TikTok, eh. As in, like, it could be a trend today, but tomorrow there's a new trend altogether. So you really have to constantly keep yourself updated, because I think TikTok kasi as a platform, it's so fast paced. So it's so easy for trends to become a trend and for trends to not become a trend. And I think the appeal of TikTok as well is that it's easy to gain views and followers. I think compared to other social media platforms, it's the easiest way to get yourself known out there.
Right. Okay. So I think just to clarify, like, I'd like to ask in TikTok, but can you like make your profile public or private, or I think it's purely public lang ba? Because I noticed I don't have the app, but I can access the website and I can look at the profiles of other people.
Yeah, there's a feature where you can set your videos private, wherein only people that you follow and follows you back, I think, can see your videos. But I think ano kasi TikTok, it's like everything is on public.
Right. Kasi even like your normal videos can be discoverable by other people, right? Even
Yeah.
though, yeah, exactly. Okay, so I think that's one thing that sets it apart from like Instagram and Snapchat, right?
Mm-mm.
If we compare those platforms, I think Snapchat. I mean, I think Snapchat is still here, but at the same time, it's not as relevant here in the Philippines as it
Mm-mm.
was before, right? Yeah. So I think I would also like to ask you, but I feel like TikTok is definitely a Gen Z platform. It's definitely a platform for young people. Would you agree?
Yes, it really is. Pero ako kasi as a millennial, it's surprising that I sort of made it big on TikTok, but yeah, it's mostly Gen Zers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think kasi even kids, I mean, I have nieces who have TikTok. So
Mm-mm.
so for me, I'm starting to feel like because I'm the tita, because I'm the older one, like, oh, maybe is it a platform for me? Because like you mentioned also earlier that it's a fast-paced platform that I'm starting to feel maybe it's a little bit intimidating if it's that fast-paced, right?
Mm-mm.
Mhm. So of course, if we mentioned that yun nga, it's fast-paced, uh do you think at some point, like maybe TikTok would eventually be irrelevant or kind of like a Vine or Snapchat in a way that it would suddenly be not relevant to content creators or maybe even to audiences?
I don't think so. I honestly I feel like TikTok right now is very strong, and I feel like it's gonna replace YouTube and Instagram because it's kind of like both of the same thing. Only because right now with TikTok you can make a career out of it. So I'm not sure. I feel like it's not a social media platform that will easily phase out. So I feel like it's the new thing talaga now for this
Right.
generation.
But I think yeah, because we talked about how fast paced it is. I
Mm-mm.
mean, I think it would definitely contribute to like shorter attention spans, right? I mean, how many
Yeah.
seconds of TikTok video? 15 seconds? 30
15,
seconds?
15 to 60.
Oh, it can be up to 60. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but even so, I think sometimes the videos that I see are even shorter than 50. I mean, diba? I feel like it's gonna get shorter and shorter at some point because of how fast you consume the content, how fast you create the content, right?
Mm-mm. Well, I feel like um it's a mixture of both kasi because syempre there's a lot of TikTokers who produces educational content, and for them to be able to um present their topic, they have to use 60 seconds man lang, 'di ba? Parang I feel like it's impossible to be able to discuss a topic in depth in 15 seconds. But yeah, it does contribute to the shorter attention span of people, but I think um I don't know. Because I feel like with TikTok, it really depends. There are some creators who do well with videos that are shorter than 15 seconds. And there are other creators who do make it even if their videos are more than a minute. Because it's also possible to upload videos that are 3 minutes long, 2 minutes long on TikTok.
Okay, that's interesting because I didn't really know that you could do that. I thought it was just really usually for your short video. So I
It's
think now that
it's actually a feature for creators who have more than something amount of followers. So you need
okay.
parang TikTok needs to see first that you are someone that should be given that kind of feature for them to give it to you.
No, that's interesting. That's interesting because I think the appeal of TikTok, of course, we said it's fast paced, it's fun, it's creative, but I think it's also, creative. Like,
Yeah.
how do you create a compelling video that's 15, 60 seconds long that would really engage your like audience or your followers who would really finish that whole video, who would really like that video? Because I mean, honestly, for TikTok, I think the difference is, let's say, even from YouTube videos, is usually for YouTube, people don't mind if it's long because if it's like a product review or something like that, okay lang. But for TikTok, I'm seeing that other content creators on YouTube, like let's say si Hiram, or Hiram has his TikTok, and I mean, people are still engaging and they are still able to create content and push content that's still engaging despite having like a shorter duration, right?
Yeah.
And I like how creative like TikTok content creators are, I would say, because usually it's like a clip, like it's like there's a skit or something like that, or even with dances. I think that's one thing that's really setting it apart compared to Instagram, because that's something that you can do at Instagram, but at the same time, yeah, as we discussed earlier, Instagram is definitely more curated, more reserved. Like you're kind of protecting a certain image if you're on Instagram, unlike first TikTok, which is you're more candid. You can be
Yes.
yourself. You can do whatever you want. And
Mm-mm.
usually the platform, like, diba, you have those songs or you have those like edits that, basically would make your videos more interesting, right?
Yeah.
So the engagement on TikTok, I would just like that. Is it still the same? Like is it still likes, comments and shares, or are there other like engagement um ways to, engage with content on TikTok? Can you like repost the TikTok of someone else? Like how does it work?
Well, there are several ways to engage on a post. Either you comment, you like, or you can even duet a video where your video will be shown side by side with the video that you're duetting on. So parang some people they make content na example, they're saying a line or like they're doing a POV of talking to someone. Other people can engage with that content by duetting the video, and then they can have a conversation, a fake conversation. So that's one of the ways where people can engage with the video. The other naman is stitch. So with stitching, you get a clip from the video that you want to use, and then you can create content out of it.
Right. Actually, the duets, I think I see other TikTok content creators do it like when they're collaborating, right? So I
Yeah.
think that's one. And then Stitch is something that's actually really interesting, but isn't it too complicated, or it's really just like easy or intuitively like easy to use for like let's say someone who is just starting out on TikTok, or maybe someone who has no video editing experience? Would TikTok be something that they can easily use?
Yeah, yeah. With TikTok, I think it's so easy to understand and to learn how to edit videos. With stitching kasi, an example would be, example, I make a video where I'm throwing a rock at, at the sea or something, at the ocean. If somebody stitches that video, what they would do is that they would get the clip or the part where I throw the rock, but then the connecting video that they'll do is that example they're a fish, they'll get hit by the rock that I threw. So parang
Right, right.
mm-mm. So
Yeah,
people
para
get
I
creative.
right. That's actually really interesting, that like the stitching and the duet, because I think that's those are features rather that are really exclusive to TikTok. I don't think Instagram is
Yeah.
able to do it, right? Yeah. So that's actually really really interesting. Like I'm starting to feel honestly like maybe I should create a TikTok. Like I'm feeling like you're selling me into the platform just because there's always FOMO now for even millennials or Gen Z. And I think with TikTok, I think FOMO is stronger than ever, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think
So
with TikTok kasi, there's really a lot that you can do. Even if you're not a creator, you can just simply watch TikTok videos and you'll learn a lot. So parang you'll learn a lot about random educational stuff or wala lang, parang it's just fun.
right. So I think I like you mentioned also earlier and now how TikTok is also in a way educational, because I think the first impressions maybe of some people is that TikTok is just about the dances or skits or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there are some content creators that are also migrating to TikTok and also using it as a platform to educate people or reach the younger audience, because I think the younger audience would resonate with TikTok more than Instagram, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Um
So yeah,
yeah, for the younger audience kasi I feel like it's easier for them to connect with TikTok only because I feel like when you're young, you just want to parang be heard. I feel like kasi with TikTok, it's all about clout, getting followers. It's so, like I said kanina, diba? It's so easy to get followers. And I think with this generation, the Gen Z, bilang social media, ano sila, centric, diba? They want to
Yeah.
get that clout, they want to get that following. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a,
So
ano,
parang looking for validation, right?
yeah, that there.
Yeah, so I think yeah, actually, yeah, that's something I also noticed that maybe TikTok is another way to get validation from not just the people you know, but even from other people, from strangers, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm curious because of course, if you're a content creator, especially in other platforms, one of the things that you're able to do with other platforms is that you're able to monetize or you're able to collaborate with brands or tag your, you know, business partners or business collabs with brands, right? So for TikTok, is this also like is monetization already possible? Like are there ads on TikTok or how are the ads like? First, yeah, let's
I'm
start with the ads first, yeah.
I'm not sure. I heard na kunyari in other countries they have TikTok money or something where each view corresponds to a certain amount of money, currency. But it's not implemented here in the Philippines. So I feel like the only way you can make a living out of TikTok is through brand collaborations. If a brand taps you and they want you to make a TikTok video, that's when you get paid. So so yon.
Right? So here in the Philippines, you would say for now it's only brand collaborations if you want to like earn. Pero
Yeah.
monetization like ads, there's none here in the Philippines.
As to what I know,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
currently the
Yeah. Kasi
thing.
for me, even as well, like I'm doing marketing, right? As far as I know also, like you could tap content creators and collab with them. Like, you know, the way you do influencer marketing in Instagram and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You ask them to post, you ask them to review your product, or you ask
Mm-mm.
them to talk about like an upcoming promo or something, right? But yun nga, I've never seen or haven't really heard about if there are ads, if you could monetize like YouTube, let's say if per view, right? For YouTube, you have like certain views for you to get money,
Mm-mm.
something like that. So for
Mm-mm.
TikTok, as far as you know, not wala pa, right?
Yeah, wala pa.
Yeah. So that's actually really interesting. But do you think like maybe because you're someone who's using the platform, like do you think at some point ads or you know monetization would happen in TikTok? And what do you think would that be like?
I feel like it will. I mean, I like I said, that's already implemented in other countries where,
Yeah.
'di ba? Some people are they can monetize their content already. I think the effect of monetizing TikTok would I'm not sure. I feel like it would gain more content creators. It would push a lot of people to do content creation as well. Because just like YouTube, I think YouTube wasn't really that popular back then. There weren't a lot of vloggers, but I think the moment that people found out that you can make a living out of it, a lot of people started doing YouTube. So yon, probably, maybe.
Yeah. Actually, I'm thinking about it as well, right? As we're discussing this, and I'm thinking, yeah, if maybe if they're doing it in other countries, they would have ads or monetization at some point.
Mm-mm.
Because if for now there are no ads, right?
No,
But I'm
actually,
also
parang there are ads now on
yeah,
TikTok. I I
okay, right.
I think I see a lot of sponsored posts, but it's not from creators, it's from like
Brand.
yeah, from brands.
Okay, so they're doing it naman in a way, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's interesting. Kasi yun nga, I think, you know, for platforms like TikTok or even other social media platforms, at the end of the day, or ads or monetization is how the platforms earn, right?
Mm-mm.
So yeah, now that you mentioned, yeah, there are brands doing it. I think it would be interesting how TikTok would eventually grow or how they'll continue to do this. Because right now for YouTube, for example, right? Not sure if you noticed, but lately they have these double ads, right? Or they basically there's a lot of ads on videos, which
Yeah.
is starting to be really frustrating for audiences. I mean, you don't mind watching them, but now at the same time, it's getting really annoying. So
Mm-mm. And
I
I think
can't
it's been a
imagine.
turn off for a lot of people na. That's why I
Yeah,
think
that's true.
YouTube's dying. That's what I noticed. Like all the big YouTubers that I used to follow before, they're not getting the same views like before na.
Right. Actually, yeah, that's interesting. For me, sometimes, yeah, YouTube is still, for me personally, I would still watch YouTube videos, but sometimes if it's too long, I start to like zone out. I feel like the fact that shorter content is becoming more popular is now normal. I feel like the attention span, even for me, even if I don't have TikTok, I feel like my attention span has shortened as well. And for TikTok, I'm starting to think, okay, what if they do the ads? Um, and actually they're doing it. And what if they do it in a way that YouTube does it? Na parang basically you have short content na nga, and then you'll shorten the content pa because of like an extra 6 second ad or something. I don't know. Like, I'm just playing with that idea because I'm imagining what if it happens. So it's gonna be really frustrating for Gen Z especially because they're the generation that doesn't really like ads, right?
Mm-mm.
Wala lang. So that's really an interesting conversation, and I'd like to watch or see how it plays out in the next few months or in the next year. Right.
Hopefully
So
not.
Or honestly, yeah, I think yeah, the appeal of TikTok is it's not. I think yeah, you're consuming content the way you like to consume it at your own pace. You're getting recommended the content you like. It's short but sweet, something like that. And I think yeah, because if you compare it to other platforms, even like Instagram or YouTube, there's a lot of ads now on those platforms. So
Yeah.
parang yeah, even with TikTok, technically you don't have those quote unquote filters in a way na your feeds are not curated. It's really more candid. It's really more personal with the content creator.
Mm-mm.
But I'm curious, diba, we talked about the brand collaborations also. Do you think, in terms of those brand collaborations, TikTok is effective in converting audiences or customers to really buy something when they see these brand collaborations?
Um, I'm not sure, but I think for us for brand awareness, TikTok is a good way for people to get to know your brand more. I've seen a lot of people whose businesses became super big just because of TikTok. So I think yes, it does help with conversions, but at the same time, I think the beauty of TikTok talaga, like I said, is the possibility to go viral.
Right. Because I think it's hard to go viral now, even on Instagram. It's hard to go viral now on YouTube.
Yeah.
Diba? And you can't really do it the way that TikTok does it. I think that's also one of the appeals of it, right?
Mm-mm.
So yeah, I'm curious na, diba, we talked about like yun nga, basically how TikTok is really also effective in somewhat converting audiences. But I think at the end of the day, because the users of TikTok are mostly young people, it's really more effective for brands that are targeted for young people, right? I don't think let's say
Yeah.
other, older brands or, brands basically for older people would, resonate with TikTok audiences unless the TikTok audiences grow.
Mm-mm.
But do you think TikTok is, diba? I mean, you mentioned naman, I think we asked this or talked about this earlier, but do you think TikTok might be a face to some of the young people or even, yeah, do you think it's gonna be like, um, at some point, like they're gonna outgrow of TikTok? Yeah, I'm curious lang, like if you think it's something that's just for young people or if
I'm
it's something that young people can carry as they grow older.
I think TikTok will grow with its audience, with its users. I don't think kasi na parang it's only for young people. Kasi I think with TikTok's algorithm, and that's the beauty of it, is that it caters to you as a person. So parang the
Mm.
content that you see, it's also dependent on who you are and what you like. So I think that's what's amazing with TikTok is that you discover content that is curated for you. So parang most likely the things that you will see on your news feed are things that you find interesting.
Mm. Right. Wait, I'm curious pala kasi 'di ba we talked about the other platforms
Yeah.
and kasi usually 'di ba sometimes for Instagram you can share it with Facebook and is TikTok also shareable to other platforms?
I think you can post. What do you mean by shareable? Like you can post your TikTok videos on Instagram, ganon?
Kasi I think yeah, usually some people would just basically just I just want to understand it. Kasi sometimes first on Facebook, sometimes I would see compiled TikTok videos. Basically like 'di ba usually I think one of the ones I saw is about this recently this guy na may mustache who basically was talking about how like customer complaint, something like that.
Mm-mm.
And I remember the video was 3 minutes long, but I think it's a combination of all of his TikToks
Mm-mm.
related to that.
Yeah.
So like I just want to understand, like, is that something when people repost that on, let's say, Facebook, is it easily shareable in a way that you download your Instagram story and then you share it to other platforms, or is it like extra effort as well if you want to share it on other or repurpose your content in other platforms?
I think it's just easy lang naman because you can just download your TikTok video and then just repost it.
Okay, so it's also like basically how you do it with Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now parang I feel like I really do get a sense of TikTok, because honestly the reason why I'm not creating an account is because I don't get I don't get
Mm-mm.
what the fuss is about. I mean, I feel like, yun nga, as I said earlier, it's a dancing platform. But now that you mentioned, there's a lot of educational as well. And I feel actually some content creators respond faster on TikTok rather than like Instagram or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I think it's easier now to interact with audiences through TikTok. I've seen some content creators say that, oh, I'm starting TikTok also because I feel it's more candid there. I feel it's more easy, or it's easier to talk to you there, something like that.
Mm-mm.
So now, like, before we wrap this up, I'd like to ask, like, what's next for you and for your content in TikTok? Like, where do you see yourself going with TikTok?
I'm not sure. Honestly, with TikTok, I'm just dealing with it day by day. So there are days parang I don't even post a video on TikTok. So, as much as possible, I'm trying to find a way to utilize a platform in order to promote my life outside of TikTok. As a makeup artist, it's amazing how TikTok has helped me get more makeup clients because ever since I started posting that I'm a makeup artist and then, I show viewers what it's like, working as a makeup artist. A lot of people have booked me through the app. So they message me, "Hey, can you do my makeup? I saw your video on TikTok." So that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm like I maybe I guess I know, conversion.
Yeah, or maximizing really the platform, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, kasi
Mm-mm.
nga, considering also, like you said, you've been here for like at least a year or what, and even TikTok is growing. I think also, yeah, we could expect siguro in the next few months or next year that definitely the way people would consume TikTok would, definitely more be different or improve, or like what you said, for you, it's really helping you out. It could be
Mm-mm.
like a huge contributor na nga eventually, or even now for your bookings, right?
Yeah.
Kasi I think some businesses don't really also see the potential of TikTok because they feel like it's for the younger audience.
Mm-mm.
So what's your advice for anyone who wants to be a content creator on TikTok?
I think my only advice is to just keep on creating content. I think with TikTok, it's a mixture of quality and quantity. I think the more videos you put out, the chances of it going viral. Because you'll never know kasi parang the algorithm is weird. Sometimes it just randomly pushes your videos and then you become instant viral.
Right. Pero I'm curious ha. Kasi yun nga, you mentioned sometimes with in terms of the posting pala. Is there like a specific strategy? Do you think in TikTok, do you have to be really strategic when you post if you want to go viral or something like that? Or yun nga, it's also still more candid when it comes to, like, let's say, scheduling your post. Like, you just do whatever.
I think um if you want to get followers, the best way is to find your niche market. Kasi parang you need to make if you want people to follow you on TikTok, you have to show them parang oh this is what I do. This is the kind of content that I'm going to be doing from now on. So parang there's still some consistency and coherence, 'di ba? With cohesiveness with your videos.
Right.
So if you're like if you're into makeup and then puro makeup related content yung videos mo, a lot of makeup enthusiasts would follow you. Pero if it's like again, you do random stuff, yes, your videos might go viral, but it doesn't mean that your audience will always enjoy your content.
Mm, right. Yeah, that's true. So I think siguro if we would wrap it up, no, if we digest everything, I think for anyone who really wants to be a content creator, not just on TikTok, but even in general, at the end of the day, just really do who you are. Like, just really post about who you are, what you're passionate about, because people can see through the BS. If you're being I'm sorry if you're bullshitting people, basically. People will know. Even Gen Z, especially, if you're trying to pull one over their head, they're going to know definitely. So
Yeah.
authenticity, I think, right, is still really important, especially in TikTok now, but not just also in TikTok, also in other platforms.
Yeah, authenticity and I guess branding. I don't know the word for it but I think if you wanna grow in TikTok, people need to get to know you as a person. So you have to be somewhat relatable. Gets ba?
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Oh.
because like I know a lot of TikTok creators who are having problems right now because um I feel like there's a disconnect with the viewers and the TikTok creator. So parang the viewers are confused because they watch the content but they don't really know who the person is. So I feel like it's a mixture of building a relationship with your viewers as well.
Right, yeah, that's true. Oo. Kasi syempre, at the end of the day, if you want people to follow you, you want to be able to relate to these people, right? Or to who's ever following you. You can't just get random followers who or
Yeah.
not even related. Kasi in a way, you're also building your own community. Eh. Usually naman for content creators, that's how it is, di ba? When you gain your following, you have eventually like sort of build your own community or followers. You interact with them, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's true. So yun, authenticity and just I think also have fun with TikTok because I think fun is also really the differentiation of TikTok. It's not a very like quote unquote serious platform. Like basically don't take yourself too seriously when you're on TikTok, right? I think that's also the appeal of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So of course, I'd like to really thank you, Rika, for your time. I really had fun just really digesting TikTok and understanding it because honestly, for me, I really, parang I'm like, should I download it? Should I just try using it and see how it goes? But at the same time, I'm still getting my content from Instagram. But even the people I follow on Instagram, even in YouTube, they're on TikTok. So I feel like I'm being left out. So now that I have that understanding from your perspective on really what the platform is about, what you can get from it, what you can learn from it, and that it's more than just a dancing trend platform. I think after this, I'll definitely create a TikTok account.
Yeah, you should. It's really great and fun. Kasi parang there's really a lot that you can pick up from TikTok, even recipes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I didn't know that. Actually, yun nga, parang usually I just see the funny parts. I never really saw that it as an educational platform. But now that you've mentioned it, and I think, yeah, a lot of people have also mentioned that to me. I think I'm definitely gonna explore the platform as well.
Mm-mm.
So, do you have like other thoughts you want to leave our listeners with?
Um, no naman. I think I said everything naman that there is to say. I think.
Mm-mm. So, ayan. So why don't you use this opportunity to invite people to, check out your profile or, plug any of your like projects or advocacies, if anything?
Uh, so hello. Please follow me on TikTok, Rica.Salomon. And then aside from that, you can follow my Instagram advocacy, which is Tayo Movement. It's a brand that I started which focuses on my advocacy wherein we promote LGBT awareness.
Right.
So
Yeah. So
yeah.
check that out, of course, because of course I really actually do love your advocacy as well. So thank you again so much, Rika, for your time. So guys, don't forget to check out her TikTok and of course her advocacy, Tayo Movement, and please also follow the podcast to get notified on the latest uploads. If you want to share your thoughts, suggest topics, or collaborate, visit our socials at the Gen Z Marketer Podcast on Facebook at Gen Z MKT on Instagram and at www.genzmkt.com.